In the previous videos about prepositions of place, we focused on singular nouns. But today I want to share a very simple yet interesting game I designed that helps students practice plurals smoothly in an engaging and interactive way. As usual, the preparation for it you need is zero. Let's dive in. This sack has 3 boards, one with items placed in different locations, one without items, and one empty board for custom setups. Questions and answers cards, and items cards too. I recommend you to review the grammar and the items before the game starts. To show the board with items and review key structures you want to work on. Positive, there were some magazines on the bed. And negative, for example, there weren't any books on the desk. Questions, were there any boxes on the shelf? So students take turns forming sentences or asking each other questions like, were there any books on the shelf? Classmates responded, yes, there were, or no, there weren't. You can give students points for each correct sentence here to keep them motivated and engaged. In memory version, players look carefully the room with items for 10 to 20 seconds, then switch to the empty room. Now students need to look at the rooms without the items and try to remember where the items were. You can ask the questions too. Question cards version. The teacher or student draws a question card and asks, were there any boxes under the desk? For example, then the students raise their hands to answer. The fastest one gets a chance. The correct answers are worth 1 point. The cards have the answers so the students can play with confidence and focus on the speaking time. Pair work. Give students turn to draw a card and ask the classmates. For example, were there any toy buses under the bed? So the students asking holds the card with answers for checking later. For extra challenge, ask them to create and describe their own rooms. Use a third empty board. Give students an extra board and the items cards. So the teacher or student A secretly places all the items on the board. The teacher can take notes of the items and places or just take a picture, because these will be the answers. The other players try to guess where things were by making sentences like, there were 2 tennis rackets next to the bed. A slightly different way would be the teacher says where the items were one by one, and players listen carefully and try to memorize them to recall later. Then the students say, there were some magazines under the shelf, there were some notebooks on the bed, there were some books on the desk, and there were some boxes on the shelf, for example, and so on. For the final check, the creator reviews the correct layout and checks the answers. Again, each correct answer is worth 1 point. And why this game is a must-try? Reinforces practical grammar, so students master their word in different forms. They keep learning, engaging, mixes observation, memory, and creativity. It encourages teamwork. Students collaborate and compete in a fun way. Your students will love it. So let's bring grammar to life.